साउथन को होल सेरिंग पे आजम किदा
Hey, man. क्या गान चल रहा है ये घंटा सुन बाबूलाल सोरेना सांतल को होल सेरिंग पे आजम किदा
long used as a tool
J'entends pas ce gars muet. Ils mettent muet.
Chanam koge johar.
Ah, ça y est. Attends.
Good evening all. Thank you for joining us in this two-day international seminar. I welcome the speakers, Marine, a very warm welcome. Nishaant is here and Jogen has been able to join us as well as Mahadev Hansda. So this is an extension of a project run by Jadavpur University, funded by RUSA 2.0, and it is under the project resource mapping the early recordings of traditional Santali songs. We know that songs have been a very important expression, mode of expression for indigenous communities, not only in India, as in a global way. And stories have been documented from generations to generations. History has been documented through songs. And since Hool has been a very important milestone for resistance, Hool songs that you have been hearing for a couple of minutes now has also bears the significance of the indigenous story, where the writing has come only in the 20th century. So a lot of questions we hope to address in this 2-day. One of it is its relevance at the current time. And we would also like to look into the different subaltern studies and the Santal consciousness and the politics of identity and historiography, and especially in this time during the pandemic, where in the name of development, there has been a lot of changes, forced migration that has been happening. And I welcome all the speakers again. And today, Nishaant and Jogin will specifically be talking about the historiography and the historicity and what has been documented till now. Marine will be talking about the Oslo archives and what can we learn from early 1890 onwards. And Mahadev Hansda, who is and has been part of the community, like is an editor for almost more than 30 years now of Tetre magazine. I welcome you all. Before I start, I would like to set some house rules. All participants, please be muted for smooth running of the session. And for low bandwidth, please keep your videos on mute as well. And all questions from the Zoom session, the Facebook session, and the YouTube live session will be addressed. And we here celebrate the diversity of multilinguality as much as possible. So questions will be addressed in Hindi, Santali, English, and hopefully in the long run, we will be able to accommodate more. But for now, please send your questions, your comments, and all the questions will be addressed after all the 4 speakers have spoken. So first, I request Jogin to unmute yourself and please start your presentation. Please keep it to 10 minutes, so there will be more time for discussion.
Sanam ko ing pahta khon lasarhet johar. Good evening all of you. Respected chair, respected distinguished guest and speaker, and I respect all the participants, ladies and gentlemen. This is my opportunity to sharing my experience about Santal Hul. I am effort to speak in Santali, and I will speak my conclusion in English at the last time. I am starting my topic. In Teheng, Noa Galochan Akhra Redo, Santal Hul Ria Prekhapot Idikate, Hudin Macha in Galoch Tabona, 1855 साल रिया 30 जून सांताल हुल दो भारत दिसम रिया नागाम रे सामानम अक्षर ते छापा हकाना सांताल को दो सहज सरल निरई आर सितुंग जापुद रे हरमो दाड़ेते खाटावन हर काना को आको हरमो मायाम रे एटा जत को सो हेपी हिसे हिपिस्क आर हुल रिया चेतना तो नासे हो बांग ताहे काना आड़ी हारकेत सहाव काते बीरबुरु मा साफा काते jas ariak ko khet ko benaw leda ar nongkan kami talate saute akwa lakchar jion talate ge unku do swatantro jati se saparum jati lekate ukrum ko nyam akada menkhan santal ko chidak ko hul leda teheng noa idikate todbis rena adige laktiabon kana bharot ria nagam sakam re matro mid pista ria santal hul idikate all padhaw kate ge abodo tirpi bon tahen kana मेनखान इन तो तेहनी मोनेया तेहन तो बढ़ती खन बढ़ती हुल इदिकाते चर्चा रेना लगतिन मोनेदा इना जहानवा तेहना गालोचना सतम संताल हुल रिया प्रेक्षापट जाइन आलोचनाया नो दो मिद बार खत तलातेन लई सदराबन काना पुलुते जहा कथाइन लैया जे दामिनिको टोठारे संताल हड़को भिटा को बनाव किदा और ओंडे तहन को एतहब किदा पंडित को मेनेदा नो जे जहां दामिनी को टोठा को मेता कना नो दो पंडित को लय कदा नो दो हुयु कना बुरु टोठा रिया मुचेद दिसम कना मेनते को लय कदा नो दो 1832 साल रे ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी राजमहल बुरु रिया प्रशासनिक इलाका लेकाते घोषणा ले था दो कना नो दो अडी सेनागे था कना दक्षिण पश्चिम गांगनई खन एतहब काते पश्चिम बांग्ला पनत रिया बीरभूम मुर्शिदाबाद रिया जंगीपुर धाबी जॉन पोटेंट दो था कना आईसीएस ऑफिसर और उनी साव कैप्टन टेनर नुकिन बारहोड़ा तेगे नवा दामिन इलाका दुकिन सार्भे था कना 1366.01 स्क्वायर माइल था कना नवा ना जायगा दो अदो जास्ती काते नवा दामिन इलाका दो बुरु टोठा था कना 1764 साल रे बक्सर लड़ाना हुईना और ओना लड़ाव रे मिड पाटा रे मीर कासिम सुजाउद्दौला और मुचेद मुगल सम्राट जहां को मेताय कना द्वितीय शाह आलम नुको को ताहे कना और मिड पाटा रे ताहे कना को इंग्रेज बाहिनी को नवा लड़ावना रे इंग्रेज को दाड़ेन खान बांग्ला बिहार उड़ीसा रेना शासन क्षमता दो इंग्रेजा तीरे चलावेना इंग्रेजा तीरे जखन जे शासन क्षमता चलावेना उनखन गे नुकु ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी दो आज सोझे मुझे खाजना अदय एतहब किदा साउते सुबादार आज गे बहाली कोय और जहां बोल लिया ये बिचारिए को आर एमान जहां को सनाम को गे ना बहाली रिया दायित्व कंपनी के हताव किदा और कंपनी कथा लेका तके नुकु बिचारिए तो के ऑफिसर को कामी काम ताहे करा जखन कंपनी तीरे शासन क्षमता चलावेना इना परेगे किंतु मानवा को जीवन रे दो अडी दुख और हारकेत जीवन सेटेरना जमन लैया जे मिटन बिसृंखला राजकता जुलुमबाज सेटेरना और मिटन कथा लई तराया जे 1770 साल रे बांग्ला रे मिटन दुर्भिक्ष हुई दो एनखान नवा दुर्भिक्ष दो दा जड़ी इरना अभाव हुई लेन रे हो अडिगान नवा को दो कंपनी शासन व्यवस्था को दायी कदा अंतर हुल दो एतहब लेना उन ऑक्टो झारखंड पनत रे अब उन बारे 1961 साल हबे जहां छोटनागपुर जहां ये बन मेता कना टोठा बन मेता कना छोटनागपुर तो मोरे गोटांग जिलाते बनाव कान थाय कना न दो जरीबाग लामू रांची एमान को आउते भागलपुर ना किछु इलाका ताहे कना ओना तेगे संताल परगना तैयार कना और उनो कोरेगे संताल को देखो ताहे कना को जखन मुगल साम्राज्य ताहे कना ओना मुगल साम्राज्य माने मुगल राजा को शासन था उन अक्सर हो किंतु नुकु ये को दो माने संताल को चेतारे मुगल राजा जहां बड़ी नजर बांग थाहे कना ओना होते ते संताल को दो अडी स्वाधीन ते निरैते तो जीवन को खड़ावे था मेनखान कंपनी जहां हिलो वास्तव रूपे मानाय इनना संतरा जीवन के भीतर दिन होबेना चसी हर को चेतान रे संतर चसी हर को चेतान रे जमीदार को पियादा को मजिस्ट्रेट आमला सनाम हर को नाहचार जस्ती ना जेलका नोडे ले लिपि प्रार किन ताहे कना इसरी भगत तिलक भगत नोनकान आइमा महाजन को ताहे कना जहाय दो नोनका संतर हर चेतान रे अडिगान अत्याचार को चला था और मिट्टे कथा लिया जे दामिनी को बुरु टोठारे पहाड़िया को उपरुम यामा कना नुकु पहाड़िया को दो अडी ओनोसोर को ताहे कना सेंद्रा करका कते जीवन को खड़ा ताहे दो और कमी को दो बाको कमी ताहे कुमड़ु बुकुरी ताहे दो को नुकुआ चोरी तालाते ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी दो अडी चूर अडिस लेन था दो ओना खातिर तेगे नुकु को निरैते ताहेन लगी ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी दो दामिनी को टोठाई घोषणा ले था दो मेनखान पहाड़िया को दो उनको दो नवा ये दो बाको अंजम लेया कंपनी कथा अदो ओना जायगा रे संताल को दुदला को जे आपे दामिनी को आपे दो नोडे ओड़ा को तवन पे महाजन हो पुलिस ऑफिसर हो बाको झमेला पे आडी शांति ते कहना ताछड़ा note upon tour con padanya kana je company do ona do base na lagi rent free land lekate ghosna ledai no no jehetu ye bang em huyuga mane tax bang em huyuga ona khitite santar ko do onde ko chalalena ar onde ko tahen kana do nongka pun nyel keda aste aste te nongka te 82,000 gan santar onde ko tahena ar 1473 ti atu onde thakena nyela je santar ko jion re upun एक प्रकार ना चेत ऑर्शन न्यूरेना नोडे शासन क्षमता हता परे चेत चिकेना दिसम ओकालेकाते परिचालना हुयो ना ओने नियम को कंपनी दे बदल केदाय साउते नो जे जहां लैंड सेटलमेंट एक्ट जहां कोई लागू केदाय नो को होते सांतार को जहां जमी जायगा को ताहे kana ona ko dokolena कोई दो नुकु कंपा ये महाजन को तीरे चलायना आर सांतार को akwa भिटे दो आगे दिए थादो को आर मिटन कंपनी कमी केदाय जे संत ये नुकु महाजन को चितान रे राजनीतिक क्षमता एम केदाय अर्थनैतिक क्षमता एम केदाय ओना खातिर तेगे नुकु को दो जस्ती कायते ये को आरंभ केदा माने जस्ती कायते अत्याचार शोषण जुलुमबाज को एथोब केदा संतार को चितान रे पूरी ले आज अच्छा संतार हुल की लगती ताहे कना संतार को दो तीसो हुल बाको को जो कांता है दो मेनखान आको चितान रे जोखन आदि जुर अत्याचार चलाना जुलुम बाज एतोहबेना नाहाचार चलाना उन खानगे हुल रेको बात होयना मोहेश लाल दत्तो लेकान दारोगा को दो उनको को दो उनको महाजन को चुपुतिर को तहेना सांतार को चितान जहां लेकान नाहाचार चला kana ona jokon obhijog ko kora tahe do thana kore ona do bako hataय do menkan ado okale ko chala santar ona hotete ar ona chhalate santar ko mitten santar takare 12 ana sud hataw lekhan ये 12 आना सूद करते 25 टका ऋणी हाताव लेखान सारा जीवन हो ओना दो बांग सुदुआ ताछड़ा महाजन ठेन गुति कर्मी कते को तहन कान थादो नोनोंका हुल रेना नोनोंका अवस्था खातिर के किंतु संतार हुल तेको पाथुलेन तादो एवं नो हो दामिनिको टोठारिया मिटन अतु भोगना देही खन नो हुल हो एथोबलेन थादो अब
I'm sorry to interrupt. Please wrap up in 2 minutes. खटी मचातली में
now I will list first enter Domenico Santal enter in Domenico Domenico was formed in 1832 democrated by Mr. John Potin who was the civil service officer in East India Company and with the Captain Tenor Damin was surveyed and it was distributed in Bengal, West Bengal. It was distributed district of Bhagalpur, Murshidabad, Birbhum, and it is comprised 1366.01 square mile. It was totally hilly area and forest area. And Santal people were invited in this place for permanently living and for cultivate. After that, after 3 years or some years later, money lender and traders are invited by the company, and they were suppressed to the Santal, and that's why Santal did declare the whole, which I will say insurrection or rebellion. There have many causes for declare the whole, but the time was very limited, and so
thank you, Jogen, for your insight.
That is enough.
Yeah, there is a lot to say and a lot to discuss, of course, and I think we will be able to address through questions and discussions. Jahai ko tela mena tapea ape do question box re node all tabon pe erakhan discussion jokhan aro noa ko tela abobon galmara darea. Now I welcome Marine. She's the Marine. Please mute yourself. Can you? Yeah, thank you. Marine has been working in India for almost 3 or 4 decades now, and she has been engaged with different indigenous communities in India and abroad. And she's the director of anthropological studies in Toulouse. I welcome you. Uh, I'm very glad that you have been able to join us today. Uh, Ma'am, please share your thoughts.
Thank you, Rahi. Can you hear me?
Yes, you are audible perfectly.
Fine. I would like to link the rule to the emergence of tribal literacy, which appeared through the influence of Scandinavian missionaries in the 19th century. Some scholars hold that literacy was a precursor of individual modernity, as it induced cognitive change, while others argue that the whole society too could cope with cultural change. So my idea is that literacy also creates and reinforces a sense of identity and often inspire narrative. And today I am going to show how the Santal text written by the collaborator of the missionary, collected from around 1870 and now in the archive of Oslo, are important for understanding the time after the rule, especially, though they are rather critical of the rebellion. To show their fascination for writing, I refer to the Rule Reattaka, one of the few texts in the archive which deal with the rule. Second, I shall turn to the feeling of dispossession found in the Santal text, since it reflects the displacement of the Santal during the colonial period when they had to move in search of land. The introduction of individual land ownership by the permanent settlement was to result later in the alienation of Adivasi land and in the migration of Santals to clear jungle or work as contract labor. Dispossession and exploitation have been seen as the cause of the rebellion. In various narratives, dispossession is associated with poverty as a cause of famine. While various rajas seem unable to cope with famine, the idea of being poor, renge, together contribute to a positive feeling of solidarity among the Santals. To the rule, the Santal chief, it is my guess, became socio-historical subject as rebels against empire, while the work of Gua allows us to see how the rule helped Santals to develop a class consciousness as peasants. To illustrate the idea of poverty and wealth, I will refer to another text called The Story of Wells Bonga, Combo Bonga, also Chief Bonga, a story authored by Murmu, the most important of Bodin collaborator, who collects more than 164 tales and may be considered as the first Santal author, so he was not acknowledged as such by the Scandinavian missionaries. Let me recall briefly the historical and social context of the collection of the Santal text, because it is the emergence of tribal literacy. The Norwegian missionaries start to collect Santal words with a view to publish a dictionary in 1869. He has collected 12,000 words. In the following years, he constantly wrote of his work with the dictionary. Sometimes he claims that the dictionary would soon be ready, but he never finished it. In fact, after his return in 1883 from Scandinavia, he found little time for the work. In 1884, he had not yet decided whether he should give quotation taken from life in lieu of the citation from classical authors used in other dictionaries. And finally, he opted for his first alternative and made an encyclopedic dictionary which would store not just words, but indigenous knowledge. And that is the important point. In 1993, he left the work to Bodin. Bodin had just arrived in the Santal Pagana in 1890. And Bodin had developed linguistic as well as botanical interest. Bodin made different arrangements with various Santals who collect the story. Murmu, his wife Durga Tudu, Mohan Membrom, Kanu Mamdi, and others. The collectors did not sign the story, but we can identify, for example, Jadavpur's style of writing. The collection increased continuously until 1927 and number more than 3,000 pages. Here I would say how important it has been for me to work with Santal Soren, who had the intuition of a native speaker and resolved many linguistic problems, since the texts were often dictated to the collaborators by all people using a language quite different from the Santali spoken today. For the missionary, not ready to locate Santal identity in the historicity of the Santal rebellion, language could compensate for the poverty of history, granting a real culture to the Santal. They wanted to store tribal knowledge by transforming what they call Eton belief and ritual, into a folklore that children may learn at school, desacralizing the Bonga so that the Santal could cease to worship them and embrace Christianity. So, in the text, Ulrea Kaka, the story of the tool,
Marin, your voice is breaking.
It can realize that they did not know how to read and write for learning, but they had understood that learning implies, is it better? Yes, sorry. So they realized that it was important to receive knowledge from somebody and create a relation, and they were ready to learn. And their father, Bogon Manji, actually made an arrangement with the Brahmin and to teach reading and writing to his first wife sons, Sidhu and Kanu. But returning from school, Sidhu and Kanu several times saw a strange creature. First, this creature had 2 heads and no legs. Then they had legs and no legs at both ends and no head. And they were wondering about the strange apparition. Was this creature a sagoon? Why a creature with 2 heads, finally? Then different people have seen the creature and the creature disappeared. But this apparition, this creature, told them it could give them a blessing. And so the blessing was that they had to write a letter to the according to the number of plows each farmer used. The idea of the letter, but also the petition mentioned by Goa, 1983, show how the Santal had interiorized the power of writing and the bureaucratic machinery of the Raj, because if they knew how to write, they could have a Raj. We find this fascination for writing with the Santal collaborator who wrote again 36, 37 years after the rebellion. But the text itself is sometimes critical because for some of the Santal narrators, the rebellion fell due to the greed of Sidhu and Kanu, who appropriate the wealth of and women of others. So they have a kind of moral judgment on the two tribes. Two long stories written by Murmu on the creation story of the son of the man and the origin of plant show how he conceived a literary project. En fait, Murmu, in fact, he had an ethnic project. He felt himself as an author, but of course, Bodin didn't understand that. And this ethnic project is in a literary idiom, showing how Adivasi intellectual emerged. And later on, this ethnic project will be continued through terroir gurus and lastly by inventor of script, such as Raghunath Murmu in the late 30s. The rule is very important in the archive. Of course, we are surprised that the collector of the text seemed to believe also that the failure was due to the greed. But another question comes. It is a question of the Oul as a marker of time. There is a different narrative who talk about the time before the Oul Tahil, and the time after the Oul Tayom. And that is very important because before, of course, you have narrative about Champa Kingdom, about the ancestors, about the wealth. And after, you have the famine and the deprivation, which is coming. Several narratives in the archive deny the value of colonial labor. And that is very important because colonial labor becomes a metaphor of human sacrifice. When a British Sahib used a chokidar to get hold of a Santal worker, and this Sahib cut the Santal worker violently under the foundation of a bridge, since human sacrifice is needed to complete the work. So it's kind of a satirical story, and an inversion story where the British Sahib is doing the sacrifice of a Santal worker. But we can read this. It's interesting because the Sahib becomes a barbarian who orders the human sacrifice. And the story shows a resistance to the colonial values, a resistance that aids in forming the consciousness of oppression.
Sorry, Maureen, please wrap up in 2 minutes. I
Sure.
think we can continue in discussion.
Yeah. I will I will just mention another text which I find very interesting in the Santal archive. It is about Kombro Bonga. You know, it is a deity that you have some devotees, and the devotees praise the deities, and these deities still
Kumbro Bonga. Yeah.
Yes, to the rich, to give to the needy. And this is interesting because Kongo Bonga and Sarpat Bonga, the Bonga of the surplus, who also try to be a kind of Bonga who try to make equal share between people, is equalitarian Bonga. And I find it very interesting because this Bonga is really helping to reinforce solidarity, endurance as kind of alternative to deprivation. And so to conclude, I would say Siduan Kanu thought they could have a right if they knew how to read and write. Today, Santal writers wonder whether writing can improve the condition of the people. In my view, Santal writers are the continuation of the prophet and of the hero of the rebellion, because they question powerful literary construction of subaltern social and political identity are now circulating in influential ways within the public sphere in India. Writing has inspired and strengthened the Santal ethnic project, while the legacy of the Oul has allowed the Santal to be conscious of their rights.
Thank you, Maureen. That was very insightful. Thank you for sharing about the importance of education among the Santals and the consciousness that education is important, and the different myths that has been translated inside or embedded inside the songs and cultural practices in the form of deities. So it's very interesting to look at the perspective of the indigenous knowledge in terms of uh, myth making and folklore. And I think if you don't mind, we can share your um, a short transcript to our participants, because many of them have been telling that the audio is a bit breaking. So yeah, so I'm to all the participants, this is to let you know that Marine has tried her level best to be here today, because you all know France is very badly affected by the pandemic, and now she has had to relocate herself to the woods. But thank you so much. I think we will look forward to the different questions that you have. Thank you again. Now I would like to ask Nishaant to come over, please. Uh, Nishaant has been working with the community in Santali language and scripts and the politics of scripts, representations of scripts in in Santali mostly, and in other indigenous languages as well. And he has extensive experience for at least 2 decades now. We are very glad to have you here, and without any further ado, I would like to request you to give your presentation, please.
Okay.
Nisha.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Acha. Acha. Jogen Babu, Mahadev Babu, Rahi, Sanam ko Johar, Hul Johar, Ingreji ting papering lay and can Kuli to Jodi San Horte, Bangla, Hindi, English, Kuli Dare Ape. So in responding. And thank you so much also Rahi for inviting Carrine, who it was a long time since we've met in Ranchi many years back, and I hope to see you again soon. And you come back to India when you come back to India. And this paper is also very much influenced by Marin's work, and there'll a lot of echoes with or my little small presentation. And so a lot of echoes from her presentation will be in here as well. So I talk about grassroots historiography and my work on script. So of course, writing, which Marin talked about, is very important. And I'll be citing some of the Oslo things too. But I wanted to start with a song that I heard when I was doing my field work in, the Bankura, Purulia, Midnapur area. This is from a student in Kapgadi College in Jhargram district. He was a Rusika, a young student, and he had many songs. And so I captured this one, which I wanted to start the presentation with. Seta Ayu Baba Tala Nida, Serai Mese Babu, Olok Bidda Kona Cheho Marang Banu, Uihara Churkin Me, Siddu Kanu, Ehop Ledakin, Olok Korgyan, Argole Nakin, Disom Susar. So it means morning, evening, in the middle of the night, we should learn how to write. There's nothing greater than the knowledge of writing. So recall these two, Siddu Kanu, the ones who created the knowledge of writing and script, Olokor Gyan, and the ones who descended to spread good over the country. So this song is sort of what I'm trying to call grassroots historiography here, is how people remember the event, right? And I think that the Hul is not just a historical event in time, although it was a very important historical event, but it was also something like a trans-historical event in a sense, right? And it crossed the boundaries of what we call this historical time, and it comes into the everyday. And so, in the Santal word, uihar is very important here, uihar, which means, I think, more than just remembrance. It's flowing into the everyday. And the material manifestation of this remembrance is this idea of writing, or the Olok Korgyan. So the association, of writing with the Hul is old, and Marin talked about it in the archive. There was of course, the famous, supernatural beginning of the Hul, where the British colonial authorities documented how this, quote, bit of paper fell on Siddu's head, and suddenly the Thakur appeared. He held a white book and wrote therein. So historian Pratama Banerjee writes about this, note from the Calcutta Review, that, quote, all through the Hul, the written word, the marker of this new time, fired the imagination of the Santals, right? So it's a new time, but it's also a time that keeps recurring, I think. And, it didn't, and so, as Marin talked about later in the Hul, how it was recounted. So Siddu and Kanu also mentioned writing, but then, in the account of Durga Tudu from, which Marin has documented. Bogad Maji, who was Sidhu Kanu's father, sent the two sons to the village school so he could learn how to write, again the word all, from a learned Brahmin in the area. This is from Durga Tudu's account in the Santal archives that Marin talked about. However, instead of learning from the Brahmin or going to school, they instead, while they were passing, saw a mendicant who had no arms and no legs, but had heads on both ends. They sought a blessing from this man in order that they could write a letter to the British Raj about excessive rents. And so in order to do this, the mendicant said he would teach them how to write, Ol Padao. So of course, this is one way of saying, so a famous argument by Peter Anderson, who is writes in Denmark and has worked with Marin also. He said that literacy has been a kind of legitimation for the whole, in an era where Santals had limited access to reading and writing. But if we look at the word all, writing, it's much more than just, writing as we think of it now. So all, is, and Marin talks about this in her work on Santal diagramming, can be translated into writing and drawing. So, Santals might know the word khond type of writing, which is made of holong, which places the historical paths of migrations of kin group into the present. Other types of ol are used to prepare the sacrifice, the space where ordinary beings come together. So here, the hul is also kind of like a sacrifice also, where, quote, 2 days will be made one, 2 nights will be made into one, right? So during these things have resonances with what was going on and how people celebrate the hul today. So in 2010, in a village near Jamtaria, Purulia district, when I was going to a hul celebration at this same time, there was a song to the Raghunath Murmu, who was the founder of the Old Chiki script, which went, the song, I mean, I'm not going to sing the whole song, but Biddu Chandan, Onol Bonga, Jivi, Janwar, Bir Bonga, Sebe Sebe Tem Konkalen, Bir Gururem Tahekan, Ud Bana, Orarem Tahekan, Ud Putka Arak Jomtem Tahekan, Abua Ol, Boyha Abua Road, Guru Dhiri Udurem Namkita. So Biddu Chandan, prose form Bonga, Onol Bonga, animal, forest Bongas. You remained silent, you stayed in the forest. And then it goes on, our writing, my brothers, our language, you took it from a mountain rock. So this story is that Murmu left his village and went outside in the wilderness where he remained silent until the spirits appeared to him. And he pulled the script from the writing from a mountain rock. So this has correspondences with the story of Sidhu Kanu, who also received the writing through an act of penance, either from the Thakur itself or from the mendicant, whichever story you want to say. And interestingly, the same word that Durga Tudu used when Sidhu and Kanu gained enough skills to write the letter to trigger the hul, when they went, was komka, the verb, which means silent or mad or possessed. So Durga Tudu said that Sidhu Kanu kin konkaina. No? And so again, we have that resonance here when Raghunath Murmu got the writing, Seba Sebatem Konkalen, right? So the same word is being used. So I don't think you can say that these are sort of coincidences, but I think if we look at it from perspective of sort of grassroots historiography, I wouldn't call them coincidences. I would call them more like correspondences. These are the correspondences in the consciousness of people as they're sort of relating different kinds of time periods together into one kind of trans-historical event, in a sense. Again, Ramchand Murmu, also the great Santal poet from Kamarbandi in Jhargram, West Bengal, he discovered his own script, which was also drawings of the Bliss Cave, and said that the script muted sound from God's sound, Ishrang, Ishrong, to human sound, Arang. Just as the diagram, the all transmutes the bonga into the human, blurring the boundary between the two. And And he also had an old script, Mahadev, blurred the boundaries of time together. And, you know, of course, Ramchand Murmu is famous for his song, Debon Tingon Adivasi Bir, Let Us Stand Up We the Adivasi Heroes. Again, inaugurating a kind of another sort of cool kind of event, you know, in his work and in his life. So if I just want to wrap up, you know, I think it's also interesting that Sidhu Kanu, Raghunath, Ramchand all came from the Murmu clan, right? And if I'm not mistaken. So which in Santal is associated with the Thakur, right? Murmu clan is the Thakur, the priests. So the Thakurs, so the British wrote that the Thakur appeared to, you know, and they kind of equated the Thakur to the Christian god, but, you know, it could also have been, so I don't know, maybe some kind of ancestors or something, Murmu ancestors. Murmu were also called Thakur, priestly class, right? And again, was it a coincidence that the future script makers of the Santals, the great script makers also were the Murmus? So I just ended a song with another song about the days before time started, before history started. When the Santals were free in the land of Champa, the clans evenly divided into the forts. Murmu Thakur ko do baba, puthi baba ko padhawa, badali koida gaadte, likhon chala khan. So the Murmu priests, my father or baba, read books, oh my father, on Badali Koida fort, which is the Murmu clan fort. Writing is occurring. So I'll end there.
Thank you, Nishaant. Thank you so much. I would like to add here a bit because the terms that we usually use like Thakurs and priests, so these mean very differently in different communities and they perceive it in a very different way. So I think we can always talk more about it and discuss what different communities mean by these words. And I think we can get onto it during the questions. Thanks again. So now I would like to ask Mahadev Hansda to please unmute yourself and join us. Mahadev Hansda is the editor of, has been the editor of Tetra magazine for more than 30 years now. And he has written, documented, and he has an amazing archives of materials which due to his dislocation also are threatened as of now, and very rare documents, and he's a gem of a man. So can I please welcome you? I think he's unable to unmute himself. Yeah. Oh, it's that. Johar again.
Johar.
Thank you for joining us. Hey, ajomok kana.
Johar. Johar. Kurang
Tome hoy ajomok kana. Kati judi pangkha kom lekan bhage huyuga.
अच्छा ये रोड आजमो कना अच्छा जोहार मानतान वाइसी गंके नेवता पेड़ा को और सेटेर कान सुबुदिये बहिया मिश्रा को हुल सेरे बना एरा निये उरु निये डिंटे निये भीटे निये हायरे हायरे मापा गोपैत उनाराड़ गई काटा आचेर लागित पाचेर लागित सेदाय लेका बेता बेते ᱧᱟᱢ ᱨᱩᱣᱟᱹᱲ ᱞᱟᱹᱜᱤᱫ ᱛᱚᱵᱮ ᱫᱚᱵᱚᱱ ᱦᱩᱞ ᱜᱮᱭᱟ ᱦᱳ ᱥᱮᱨᱮᱧ ᱨᱮᱭᱟᱜ ᱢᱤᱢᱤᱫᱴᱮᱱ ᱠᱷᱚᱫ ᱠᱷᱚᱱ ᱜᱮ ᱵᱩᱡᱩᱜᱼᱟ ᱦᱩᱞ ᱨᱮᱭᱟᱜ ᱚᱡᱮ ᱫᱚ ᱪᱮᱫ ᱛᱟᱦᱮᱸ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ ᱮᱨᱟ ᱩᱨᱩ ᱚᱛ ᱦᱟᱥᱟ ᱫᱷᱚᱱ ᱫᱩᱨᱤᱵ ᱟᱨ ᱥᱮᱫᱟᱭ ᱞᱮᱠᱟ ᱵᱮᱛᱟ ᱵᱮᱛᱮ ᱢᱮᱱᱫᱚ ᱯᱷᱩᱨᱜᱟᱹᱞᱚᱜ ᱨᱮᱭᱟᱜ ᱞᱟᱹᱲᱦᱟᱹᱭ ᱜᱮ ᱛᱟᱦᱮᱸ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ ᱦᱩᱞ ᱢᱮᱱᱠᱷᱟᱱ ᱱᱚᱣᱟ ᱦᱩᱞ ᱞᱟᱹᱭᱛᱮ ᱚᱱᱟ ᱵᱤᱫᱟᱹᱞ ᱨᱮᱱ ᱚᱱᱚᱞᱤᱭᱟᱹ ᱠᱚ ᱟᱭᱢᱟ ᱜᱮ ᱟᱹᱰᱤ ᱵᱟᱹᱲᱤᱡ ᱵᱟᱹᱲᱤᱡ ᱠᱟᱛᱷᱟ ᱠᱚ ᱵᱮᱲᱡᱟᱜ ᱠᱟᱛᱷᱟ ᱠᱚ ᱨᱚᱲ ᱠᱟᱫᱟ ᱚᱞ ᱠᱟᱫᱟ ᱠᱚ ᱚᱠᱚᱭ ᱫᱚᱠᱚ ᱢᱮᱛᱟᱜ ᱛᱟᱦᱮᱸ ᱱᱚᱣᱟ ᱫᱚ ᱛᱟᱦᱮᱸ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ ᱚᱥᱚᱵᱵᱷᱚ ᱵᱚᱨᱵᱚᱨ ᱞᱩᱴᱷᱮᱨᱟ दस्यु एमान को लड़ाई से हुल ओना तायम आर जहां को ऑललेका उनको कंदा जमीदार महाजन आर पुलिस को रोडज कोचलन बिंदुरे नाहाचार बिरुद्ध रे ताहे कना नोआ हुल इंग्रेज बिरुद्ध रे दो बा आर ओय दो को दा सांताल हुल दो कना चासी को हुल मेनखान सांताल हुल जे ताहे कना भारत रे पहिल उतर फुरगल लड़ाई नोआ सारी कथा मेवेन दो आदि होड़ रेबेन बांग तेहि दो ऑक्टो सेटेर कना नोआ को लईते आरहों खंदरन रिया आरहों बारती कते तजबीज रिया इन तो ढेर कथा बई लैया हुल रिया एतहब चल कते होइना हुल चिकते सर्दीना ओना को अडी मारांग कथा कना अडी जेलें कहानी नागाम नोआ हुल रे उनको मेन गानवा 4,000 खन हो जास्ती हुलगरिया जीवी को अलाय कदा मायाम गुहा कना को और तीने चो हड़ को घलेन तीने को जेहोलेन ओना रे लेखा जोखा द बनुआ इंग्रेज सेनापति मेजर जार्विस कथा गे आले दो जहां ले कमी कदा ओना दो लड़ाई दो बांग हड़ गज माने गण हत्या नोआ लड़ाई इरल चांदो तायनम नोआ हुल रे सिंगल दो इड़ी लेना आदो तेहे냐 कथा लईते खाटो कथा ते माछाते किछु लेया सांताल हुल गे कना भारत रे पहिल उतर फुरगल लड़ाई दो सिपाही विद्रोह से नील विद्रोह खन हो लहा नोआ हुल होइलेन ताहेना एकेन इन दो बांग एकेन सांताल सुमुंग दो बांग कोल कामार कुंकल धांगड़ भुइया डोम ग्वाला राजवाड़ नेस एमान एटा जित रे होड़ हो नो हुल रे को सेले दन ताहेना आर हुल रिया चारित पिचर लेखान नोआ दो सानाम बन बुजुआ जे सानाम रोडज हचो कान सिबोड़ हचो कान कोचलन नाहाचार खोड़ा बांचा रे लड़ाई ताहे कना धरती रेन सानाम फुरगल मोनान होड़ा मोने रे जाजु दिल दाड़े आर उद्गवे सदरा नोआ हुल सांताल हुल दो बांग बेरथा कना हुल तायम दामिनी को रिया न्युतुम सांताल परगना हुई लेना ओडे पुलिस महाजन आर व्यापारी को खन कोचोले को थाना सुलुका नीते तहन लगी बांकाते माझी पारगाना तीरे दाड़े को ओना तायम हुल लईते अडिगान खंदरन होई कना सिदु कान्हु ᱧᱩᱛᱩᱢ ते हर डहार स्कूल को यूनिवर्सिटी ᱧᱩᱛᱩᱢ को होई कना डाक टिकट होई कना तेहिं दो साहे रहो अडी मारांग फेराफेरी होई कना सांताली साहे रे धीरेन्द्रनाथ बास्के गोराचंद टुडू कालीराम सोरेन पंडित रघुनाथ मुर्मू जदुनाथ टुडू शारदा प्रसाद किस्कू ठाकुर प्रसाद मुर्मू परिमल हेम्ब्रम एमान ओनलिए को कलम को साब कद हुल चेतान बांग्ला साहे रेन महाश्वेता देवी रणजीत कुमार समाद्दार ताराशंकर बंदोपाध्याय पांचु गोपाल भादुड़ी मनमथ राय अरुण चौधरी लोकनाथ दत्त दिगंबर चक्रवर्ती अजितेश बंदोपाध्याय आनंदमय बंदोपाध्याय सपन बसु एमान एमान आयमा अनलिए आर खंदरियन को हुल चेतान रे नाना हुनर को अलकात बना नोंका कते सांताल हुल रे मन आर महत नितो अडिगान बाड़ती कना एंते रह कुकली हिजुआ हुलगिरिया को जहां आस आर कुकमु ताहे कना ओना दो की सारी कना ᱧᱮᱞᱚᱜ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ ᱚᱠᱟᱨᱮ ᱫᱚ ᱱᱟᱹᱭ ᱥᱮ ᱰᱮᱢ ᱧᱩᱛᱩᱢ ᱛᱮ ᱚᱠᱟᱨᱮ ᱫᱚ ᱠᱚᱞ ᱠᱟᱨᱠᱷᱟᱱᱟ ᱧᱩᱛᱩᱢ ᱛᱮ ᱵᱟᱝᱠᱷᱟᱱ ᱠᱷᱟᱫᱟᱱ ᱧᱩᱛᱩᱢ ᱛᱮ ᱵᱤᱨ ᱡᱤᱭᱟᱹᱞᱤ ᱨᱟᱠᱷᱟ ᱫᱚᱦᱚ ᱧᱩᱛᱩᱢ ᱛᱮ आदिवासी को भीटे छाड़ा से उच्छेद उनको गिरबासी को लगित जहान पंथा दो बनुआ गोटागे कॉर्पोरेट संस्था मोलमोली जानाम भीटे खन छुडरकान हड़ दो तुक आत चेणे लेका लाज जलाते नमाल काछाड़ को हावा हावी बड़ाई कना नौका कते आद एदा को आकवा रिलमाला समाज रोड लांदा आरिचाली बोंगा बुरु सानाम अनुरूम जहां होते ते नीत हो मध्य प्रदेश महाराष्ट्र झारखंड उड़ीसा छत्तीसगढ़ एवं राज्य रे ओत हासा आर बीर बुरु रे अइदर लगी आदिवासी को आंदोड़ चला कना पश्चिम बांग्ला रहो पुरुलिया जिला रे अजोरिया बीर बुरु रे डैम विरुद्ध रे बीरभूम रे पांचामी रे खदान विरुद्ध रे लड़ावना चला कना अपना जानम पार्सी ते ओलो सेणा रे अइदर लगी हो लड़ाई हुई कना नोआ दोसा खन दो तोरादो पे हुई तबना मुचे रि मेना सांताल हुलैते आर हो ओड़े ओड़पात खंदरन रे मेना कदा तोपाइना ये रोड आजम कना ये रोड
आजमोक कना
आजो आगै मुचे रि मेना सांताल हुलैते आर हो ओड़े ओड़पात खंदरन रे मेना कदा नीत हो आयमा कथा बिन बडागे मेना कदा हुल रिया चितर साब दोहे लगी ठाव ठाव रे म्यूजियम बेरे दाड़िया खान भागेआ ओड़े दो हुल ऑक्तो रे सपा कापी खांडा बरलम आसार एमान Ona bidal reya isi arad kudi pasini eman enek cere asaj sapap tirio bana lipur paigon urmal dahdi eman doho ganwa. Hurriya to se documentary terdarea malai ke pantha tiar jadura. Obegor Santal hul disate egel lekate sorkari chuti hen jarur kana. Mujud teri mena hul mahado uihriya din kana kiriye hataw reya ho din kana daneyakan bir banta ko disekate sanam ko til tugate devon johara Santal hul jitkar sidukan hu jitkar ma sanam ko hul johar.
Hul Johar. As Mahadev Hansda had requested to make a gist of what he has presented today for the larger audience, I will try to do as much justice as possible. Since we have a limited time and we have number of questions that are coming in, I will try to do as much as possible. So he had introduced us by telling that the Santal Hul was not necessarily only the rebellion of the Santals. There were Kols, there were Mundas, and there were other communities who had been equally neglected, who have been equally deprived and taken advantage of by the taxpayers and the zamindars of that time. And he has also told about how Ronujit Guho had explained this, has argued this as to be the peasant revolution of first of its kind, even before the Nil Bidroho and even before the Sepoy mutiny that is so widely written and talked about. But there is politics of representation that is important to be to acknowledge that, and it is very important to know that the kind of rebellion that the Santals had and the other communities had during that time is an inspiration to all as of now, who have now also been adversely affected by building of mines in dams, and the different indigenous communities are now landless in this very current situation. We have also seen during the pandemic, there have been so many labor-related issues in our country, and he has given us a lot of hope and to take inspiration and to see the language of resistance that one can be aspired to take. And he has commemorated the Shidhu and Kanu and the others who had taken part in the Hul, the Santal rebellion. So I will end, thank the speakers once again. And I have some questions, different questions have come up to different speakers. So Jogen, can you unmute yourself? Marine, please, so that we can look at the different questions that have come. So the first question that I have received is to Marine. So was there any role of religion to conduct the Santal Hul? This is from Professor Shoshi Murmu. So do you want to respond to it, Marine?
Yes. Please tell me what was the role of religion?
Yes, the role of religion
yes.
conduct
Yes.
Santal Hul.
Yes, I think that in the text Ulreat Kata, the apparition, connected with the message, the strange creature with no legs or no head, etc., is not an ordinary man. And this creature is telling to Sidhu Kanu and Kanu, I will give you a blessing, Bo, a blessing. So it's a kind of supernatural agent. And of course, you have also Nishaant allude also to the leaflet. The leaflet were falling on the heads of the Takurs when they start the rebellion. And of course, in the British document, the leaflet are white pages, and some scholars have thought they were the Evangel, the pages of the Evangel, and there have been different interpretations. But I think it was very important for Sidhu and Kanu to be invested by a supernatural power, and Dipesh Chakravarti is also interpreting this in the same line when he says the Thakur represent a kind of like this Konko. Konkaina means become mad, become possessed. That was very important for investing Sidhu and Kanu with a divine power. So they became like possessed. Because no ordinary man will have called for the wood. It is the idea, I think. That is a supernatural order, a legitimation of truth also. You remember perhaps also there were rumors before the rebellion from different sources, and they said, now truth will come, sarige. The idea of truth is important too, and is connected also with this madness, a kind of holy madness, I would say, which empower Sidhu and Kanu. They become empowered by religion in a way, by some supernatural power, because ordinary man will not have that power to call for such a rebellion.
Thank you. Nishaant, would you like to reflect on that? Please unmute yourself.
Okay, on the question of religion.
Yeah, the role of religion to conduct the Santal Hul.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, yeah, there's also an interesting question one can raise, and I think subaltern historiography has raised also about what is the boundaries of, the term religion when we talk about it. What do we actually mean? Was this event, I think, when we talk about Santal religion in different ways, it's actually a very complex thing because many things are part of everyday life, like bongas and different kind of sacrifice, and everything like this is part of everyday life. It's part of before people do agriculture, various birth, death, any kind of part. And so, but there is a thing where sometimes certain kind of events come. So like in just everyday, like Santal, there during certain kind of rituals, there's a thing, rumbonga, where, the people come and get like kind of a possessed and things. And that signifies a certain kind of event in the life of the people, in a sense. And, that happens, frequently. If you sing a song and, there's a lot of raska, you can get a rumbonga during the Baha time, even during school time, that happens. So in that sense, I think there is a particular special case around the narratives of the Hul, but I think also it happens also very frequently in everyday life too. So I think if we look at it from that perspective, it's not, yeah.
So I have another question for you. So I'll take this chance to ask you. Please explain the relevance of the song by Sadhu Ramchand Murmu, Devon Tigun Adivasi Bidhot in Santal Hul.
Oh, okay. So I brought it up as, my presentation was about like correspondences. So it's not like Devon Tingun Adivasi Bead was, is a Hul Sareng or something. It's not a Hul Sareng necessarily. It's a Sareng about a particular time, it was the Jharkhand movement and everybody kind of bringing the Adivasis together to fight for, particular kind of cause and everything like this. So it's not directly related to Santal Hul, but if you look, the resonances of the song are very much like similar to a kind of resonances in the Hul. Like, so if you look at like Hul songs and everything like this, there would be kind of similar sort of resonances. But I think somebody like Mahadev Babu, who knows these literature and songs very well, he's just coming up on the screen too. So he would also maybe be able to comment. I don't think there's an actual relationship between Devon Tingun Adivasi Bir and Hul. I'm saying Devon Tingun Adivasi Bir inaugurated another kind of event. That event had a similar resonance to the Hul and to writing also, because Sadhuram Murmu invented his own script.
Now, next I have a question to Jogen. Did we lose him? Jogen, can you hear us?
Yes.
Yeah. So this question goes to you. Why atrocities and resource alienation from the land or forest of the Adivasi is a constant problem? And why do you think, who do you think is responsible? Nua do tidak bang cabak kada nua hul netar ho menak dia hul nak lakti do tidak.
Hey, nowara na karon do huyuk kana node chit bun leya node rajnitik paper, political paper kati jodawa kana. Tachada abo jodi Bharat na perspective to bun nyela. We see in Indian perspective. Tale bun nyela je তাহলে যদি ন হুল ইদি কাতকে তেহে যা পুথি কো অলোক খানা তাহলে যা সান্তাল খানায় উনি মিড রকম দৃষ্টিভঙ্গিতে অলে দাই মিড রকম দৃষ্টিভঙ্গিতে ñele দাই যা নন সান্তাল খানায় উনি কট্টি চুলুং রহ আলাদা দৃষ্টিভঙ্গিতে ñele দাই তো নগনকা কে প্রত্যেকটি ক্ষেত্রে তেহে সান্তাল কো পার্টিসিপেট বনওয়ানি যার জন্য কট্টি চুলুং রহ ওডে চেত বন লেয়া মানে উনকু কাটি কো সাহায্য কানা বা কাটি কো এড়ে হিজুক কানা বা নেগলিজেন্সি ভাব হিজুক কানা তো নগনকা গে ভাব এই আর মিটটা কথাই লে যেমন হুল অক্তরে পাহাড়িয়ে কো দো সৈন্য বাহিনী রে কো নিয়োগ কে কোয়া পাহাড়িয়ে কো কিন্তু সান্তাল কো দো বাকো নিয়োগ লে কোয়া নগনকা না ইয়ে বন ñel ñame da ona khatir tege no do ইয়ে দরকার কানা নিত আর মিটটাং হুয়ুক কানা মানে চির বন লেয়া ছোট হর মিটটাং কনসিয়াসনেস তিয়ার লেনখান তবেই না কিন্তু আবো নগনকা না bang hijau arti nyak monete non bedar.
Mahadev Babu doa niye jaham leya kati lei ju tidak me
lei talam me chet i leya
lei da oi je hul netar ho lakti kana ona do tidak mone huyuk kana je netar ho hul lakti kana
enagri lei keda je hul do achka do bang huyuga aima din re hetel gejel punji yakan hiris ede ona ko jul godok ge bagena hul to santal hul hon achka to bang hoi kana nongkan mitten dosa se auto setter lena je oneko sereng le usus pon war bon chili ho bang ko tingun to bedon hul gia ho disom des maji pargana atu mapa jigo du bon danang bon bange ko tingun to bedon hul gia ho ado ona mitten okto আর তেহিন দিশম ফুরগল কানা তেহিনা গণতান্ত্রিক দিশম রে তেহিন লড়াই আন্দোলন রে আইমাল কা রাদা মেনা আদনে তেহিন nya jaha ko ona onkan hul do bangka menkan rodoj mena ya nahar mena ya nitu ere hecho kan ya aima ene ona hote te hul rea lakti se prasongi ko tada bena nit ho janam ror se olok padhar eri ba nit ho otasa ko re tel rei do jaha hul okto apnar orang lagi dinding lagi ot lagi hasa lagi apna gelo bidiril menkan ona don to balu reho en ho nitu ho rodoj do menak ya nitu nahachar do menak ya nitu menak ya hotik te huria lakti song gitu nitil kate menak.
Thank you.
Arjahan.
The next question I have is to Nishaant again. There are two questions basically. What are the primary sources to understand the Santal rebellion of 1855? And the second question, maybe you can answer it, first. What are the differences between grassroots historiography and subaltern historiography of the Santal rebellion? is there any documentation of the migration of the Santals after 1856? Please unmute yourself. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, subaltern historiography, as far as I understand, is, from the Ranajit Guha's, classic texts and everything, it's reading the archive against the grain to trying to find out the subaltern position, trying to find out what is not said, right? And building up a historiography from there, kind of thing. What I'm calling this grassroots historiography is something else. I think it's more of an anthropological enterprise, more like using the current ethnography to understand historical processes. It's not so much archive based, although I've used a bit in my presentation, a bit of the archive, which was translated by Soren and Carrine and things, the Oslo archive. Carrine is also, and Peter Anderson are also kind of anthropologists who look at history. So I think that's a difference between grassroots historiography and subaltern historiography. One is archive based and one is more ethnographic based, understanding historical time through that. So I think that's one thing. Second thing, what was the other question? Sources? Sources, are you saying?
Well, the question was, what are the primary sources to understand the Santal rebellion of 1855?
Okay.
Like the archives, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not really a historian, so I'm sure there's many different kind of sources. I mean, one of the famous sources is W. Hunter, I think, Annals of Rural
Archer,
Bengal.
yeah. W. Archer.
Hunter.
Hunter, yeah, the Annals of Rural Bengal.
Annals of Rural Bengal, where this was all kind of written up, and I think people can find copies of that. And then, I've never really looked so much at the primary sources, but I really think if anyone can buy a copy of From Fire Rain to Rebellion, which was Carrine and Peter Anderson, Santosh Soren's translated Oslo archive book. It's by the Manohar in New Delhi. It's not so very expensive. And that really gives a really wealth of archival material from the Oslo archives, in which this Hul, one of the stories about the Hul is talked about. So I think that's a very great source. And I think if these more of the stories that like Marin was talking about from the people of that time who lived in the Hul, the Santals of that time, can be translated and brought out, I think that would provide a really good archival source for this, for understanding Hul and also challenging kind of historiography.
Thank you. This question is from Arun Yadav, and it is for all the panelists. I think we have lost Marine somehow. Might be connectivity issue. So how does the credibility of oral narratives get authenticized stance in mainstream society? Like, how do we look at oral narratives as historical documents? Jogin, do you want to respond to that?
Oral narrative chilkare mane mainstream society build up they are lagi
authentication
jodi abo nagam rena pichhle sen bon chalaa nagam rena pichhle sen bon chalaa no je jaha ayon ba Mahabharata jaha mahakabbo olok kana noa hoto prothom unwritten obostha rege tahe kana noa hoto oral obostha re tahe kana tayom daram te jahay ko ye noari writer kana ko se author kana ko unku noa ko ol leda ko ol kate teheny noa modern bharat dishom re ho kintu darshan okare darshan bon pajayeda ᱚᱸᱰᱮ ᱨᱟᱢᱟᱭᱚᱱ ᱢᱚᱦᱟᱵᱷᱟᱨᱚᱛ ᱨᱮ ᱥᱟᱱᱟᱢᱟᱜ ᱠᱤᱪᱷᱩ ᱠᱤᱱᱛᱩ ᱟᱵᱚ ᱟᱪᱪᱷᱟ ᱱᱚᱜᱼᱚᱭ ᱡᱮ ᱩᱯᱚᱱᱤষᱫ ᱚᱠᱟᱨᱮ ᱩৎᱯᱚᱛᱛᱤᱜ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ ᱢᱚᱦᱟᱵᱷᱟᱨᱚᱛ ᱨᱮ ᱩৎᱯᱚᱛᱛᱤᱜ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ ᱱᱚᱜᱼᱚ ᱱᱚᱝᱠᱟ ᱜᱮ ᱠᱤᱱᱛু ᱟᱵᱚ ᱱᱚᱣᱟ ᱪᱮᱫ ᱤᱧ ᱞᱟᱹᱭᱟ ᱳরাল ᱴᱨᱮডিশন ᱵᱮᱥ ᱠᱟᱛᱮ ᱜᱮ ᱠᱤᱱᱛু ᱟᱵᱚ ᱢᱮᱱ ᱥᱴᱨᱤᱢ ᱥᱳᱥᱟইᱴᱤ ᱥᱮᱱ ᱵᱚᱱ ᱦᱤᱡᱩᱜ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ ᱵᱚᱱ ᱛᱚ ᱪᱮᱫᱟᱜ ᱵᱟᱝ ᱦᱩᱭᱩᱜᱼᱟ ᱛᱟᱭ ᱱᱚᱜᱼᱚᱭ ᱡᱮ ᱢᱤᱫᱴᱟᱝ ᱯᱨᱚᱛᱷᱚᱢ ᱡᱚᱠᱷᱚᱱ ᱟᱵᱚ ᱢᱚᱫᱽᱫᱷᱮ ᱢᱤᱫᱴᱟᱝ ᱠᱚমিউনিটি চিন্তা ভাবনা ᱛᱮᱭᱟᱨᱮᱱᱟ জাতি চিন্তা ভাবনা ᱛᱮᱭᱟᱨᱮᱱᱟ তাহলে নংকা গে সান্তার কোয়া মিটং ট্রেডিশন মেনা তাকো না ট্রেডিশন খাতির থেকে কিন্তু উনকু দো যে সান্তার জেদ কানা কো নয়া কো উপরুম কানা কো অঁডে খনা গে তেহেন যদি আবো বন রিসার্চা বা হয়ুক কানা অঁডে খনা বন গবেষণায়া অঁডে খনা আডিগান অ্যানথ্রোলজিক্যাল পার্ট তারপর হয়ুক কানা চেদ বন লয়া মানে দো হয়ুক কানা লিঙ্গুইস্টিক পার্ট আডি কিছু বন হাতাও দাঁড়িয়া হাতাও কিছু কিছু বন হাতাও দাঁড়িয়া যাহা দো মেইনস্ট্রিম সোসাইটি সে বা অঁডে খনা আবো যাহা সান্তালা দর্শন নোয়া বিল্ড আপ গানোয়া নংকাতে ইন্দিন মনেয়া যে হ্যাঁ ওরাল ট্রেডিশন হ অবশ্যই মেইনস্ট্রিম সোসাইটি বিল্ড আপ রেনা মানে তিয়ার রেনা অবশ্যই বড় সপনে হবে এবং সাহায্য কথা ইᱧᱟᱹᱜ কথা ᱫᱚ ᱵᱟᱝ ᱚᱱᱟ ᱫᱚ রবীন্দ্রনাথ ঠাকুর হে বাতাও আকাদায় রবীন্দ্রনাথ ঠাকুর ᱞᱟᱹᱭ ᱫᱟᱭ ᱡᱮ ᱡᱟᱦᱟᱸ ᱠᱚ ওরাল ট্রেডিশন ᱢᱮᱱᱟᱜᱼᱟ ᱚᱱᱟ কালেকশন ᱦᱩᱭᱩᱜᱼᱟ কালেকশন ᱠᱟᱛᱮ ᱚᱸᱰᱮ ᱠᱷᱚᱱᱟᱜ ᱟᱵᱚᱣᱟᱜ অরিজিন পাঞ্জা বা ᱚᱸᱰᱮ ᱠᱷᱚᱱᱟᱜ কিছু উপাদান হাতাও ᱠᱟᱛᱮ ᱟᱵᱚᱣᱟᱜ মানে সেদায় ᱡᱟᱦᱟᱸ ᱟᱫ ᱟᱹᱜᱩ ᱠᱟᱫᱟ ᱵᱚᱱ ᱡᱟᱦᱟᱸ ᱤᱛᱤᱦᱟᱥ ᱚᱱᱟ ᱠᱚ ᱟᱵᱚ ᱵᱚᱱ ᱯᱟᱸᱡᱟ ᱧᱟᱢ ᱫᱟᱲᱮᱭᱟᱜᱼᱟ ᱱᱚᱣᱟ ᱞᱚᱡᱤক ᱤᱢᱯᱟᱠᱴ ᱱᱮ ᱞᱟᱹᱭᱫᱟ
ᱟᱪᱪᱷᱟ thank you Mahadev babu am then mitang kukli mena how can we reconstruct redefine and rewrite the first war of independence through the yardstick of 1855 Hul noa kukli do huyuk kana Pokod Sorena nuye leida je abo cheleka kete Santal Hul rena chitar bon nawa kete bon teyar daya chelekan khondro rena lakti mena
সান্তাল হুল রিয়া নাগাম বাডাই হুᱭᱩᱜ ᱠᱷᱟᱱ ᱚᱱᱟ ᱚᱠᱛᱚ ᱨᱮᱭᱟᱜ ᱰᱤᱥᱴ্রিক্ট ᱜᱮᱡᱮᱴᱤᱭᱟর্স ᱢᱮᱱᱟᱜᱼᱟ কোর্ট রিয়া জুডিশিয়াল প্রসিডিংস কো মেনাᱜᱼᱟ ᱱᱚᱛᱮ ᱚᱱᱟ ᱚᱠᱛᱚ ᱨᱮᱭᱟᱜ খবর কাগজ যাহা বর্ণনা সাময়িক পত্রিকা কো অনা করে খন আইমা তথ্য সে ইনফরমেশন বন ᱧᱟᱢ ᱫᱟᱲᱮᱭᱟᱜᱼᱟ যাহা তো ᱚᱱᱟ ᱠᱚ ᱠᱷᱚᱸᱫᱨᱚᱱ ᱨᱮ ᱞᱟᱹᱠᱛᱤ ᱦᱮᱱᱟᱜᱼᱟ ᱰᱷᱮᱨ ᱠᱟᱭᱛᱮ ভাগলপুর জেল আবার সিউড়ি জেল মানে কোর্ট নড়ে उनको हुलगरिया को बिचार हुई लेना ओडे रेकॉर्ड बन पांजा नाम दाड़ेया और नौका लई चाल कथा सुबुंग दो बांग काना इतिहासेर उपादान जहां को मेता ऐतिहासिक उपादान ओना लेकारे आयमा कथा खंदरन रिया से गवेषणा रे मेना कदा नौका कते गे हुल रिया सारिया बन पांजा ओडोका एनहो अडिगान ᱧᱟᱢ kana ena jon अडिगान को लिया अकोय दो सिदुई मारंग से कान्हुई मारंगा कोय को मेन कदा सिदुई हुल रे गो लड़ही रे गोजना कोय को मेना कान्हुई गोजना मेनखान नित तो बड़ा फांसी गे हुई लेना बाना होड़ा के फांसी हुई kana कान्हु फांसी दो 23 फेब्रुआरी 1856 ओना भोगनाडी रे मेनखान सितुआ फांसी हुई ना 30 ओना तो निथाबी बड़ाय रे बानुआ जदियो फांसी दो हुई kana हा 5 कठिया बाड़े धारे रे नौकान ऐमा कथा बाडाय तिया आरहों ओना हुल रे तिनाग गान कुड़ी हपन को सेल लेन ताबोना आयो होड़ आयमा होड़ को सेल लेना ओना दो मेना आका मितार समय पत्रिका करे खबर कागज रे नेलोक kana खा nyutum bang bujuk kana unia nyutum jet tahay kana uni कुड़ी हपना उना गान बाही नौकान कथा को दो घाटा ही ओना जखन रेकॉर्ड्स नौका कते बो पांजा ᱧᱟᱢ दाड़ेया
Thank you, Mahadev Babu. Saram ko lagi te kati English te judin leya khadar ki jahan leka Mahadev Babu lei sodora bonai. There are lots of documents that are available for research, as Nishaant has also been telling us, of the annals of rural Bengal and other documents that have been archived. But there are many gaps in the narratives, and there's lots that is yet unknown. So we do not know a lot of history as to when was Shidhu, who is elder, Shidhu is elder or Kanu is elder, or even who were the woman who had participated during the Hul. And I mean, it is necessary to rebuild this history by looking at different documents, legal documents, and especially going back and try to look at jail records if it is available in the British archive. And so if, I mean, there is a lot of scope in studying and trying to rebuild different kinds of narratives. And Hansda ji is very much aware of the different difficulties that is present. But I think it is very important and essential that we all try and build up this activity of doing more research, primary grassroots research, to know what actually had happened. And we can unearth a totally very different history that we know as of now. So I'll move on to the next question. Yeah, so this is to Nishaant. Just a minute. Okay, how would the panelists look at literary narratives? Example, Marshall, Himbrom, and Sovendra Hansda. So would you like to reflect on that?
Me? I think
Mahadev Babu will be able to throw some light in this.
The encyclopedia of Santali literature.
তো মহাদেব বাবু আমি যদি লেই বাড়াই হচ্ছে লেয়া যে মার্শাল হিমরমা অল সে শোভেন্দ্র হাসা অল ওনা তালাতে আবো হুল লেকা বন্যেলা
abo hor event ko lagi te tayom akan hor se rodoj hocok kan hor jahan to nahacat hor ko banca reya jahan lurhei apana hok ideri jam lagi te nongkan ol do samhe re adi gan ke bena kada aboren sadhu ramchand murmu ol khon onordhiya sarada prasad kisku nongka aima thakur prasad murmu hena ko tane ini okto re Porimol Hembrom jahaya do bahana nyutung do Marshall Hembrom onordhere unia do oktoria dolil aj tike mene kada oktoria dolil jaha ko nit do olok kana event ko lagi te apnar hok ideri nyam lagi te pathe kete jo lagi te adi udgawe kwa ar onka ge Dr. Sovendra Hansda uni to novel ko henak taya kati kahni ko English te bena menkan ayak jaha plot kan taya ona do noa rodoj hocok kan khijilu hocok kan abon nyel kada noa laha je the adivasi will not dance adivasi ad balle enenya noa je puthi tai kahani puthi noa re adi uni chetan uni hairan hoi lena menkan dare nai ani tho ol idiet gyai ji chelka kate uduk kada je renge nachar hoda ko then to menda aghar hoi len khan ge ale do bahare chala hui tale November khan ge migration ehoboa to nitha no somaj ra chitar no je nitho rengej menak gya nito go ni ge adigan anat menak kat gya to disom pugal kate ho par hor bar lekat kin sodoreda nui do goddo jaha ko mena je goddo sahityo lekate Sovendra Hansda ar onordhe samhe lekate onordhe lekate do Marshall Hembrom leida banar ge somaj lagi to bhagi sandesh oktoria dolil.
So I would like to let the larger audience know that Porimol Hembrom, who is better known as Marshall Hembrom, he has written Oktoria Doli, and he has mainly, the protagonists mainly are people who have been have been designated as the have-nots, as most of the people who have been undermined and have not been given different privileges have to undergo a lot of discrimination. And when Shovindra Hansda writes mostly in proses, and he has also protagonists who are people who have not been taken care of by by any government who has come and gone, and whoever the government is, I mean, none of their issues are addressed. So yes, the narratives of Marshall Hembrom and Shovendra Hansda throws light into the different kind of adverse situations that most indigenous people face in this time, and the migration mostly that he was saying takes place during the November months, and people have to uh, be aware of every day and have to fend for themselves every single day to be able to feed themselves. So this has been going on, and is still the case, and that was the response of Mahadev Babu. uh, Jogin, do you want to comment on this further?
হ্যাঁ অবশ্যই ইলেয়া হুল ইদি কাতে তো জাস্তি মানে মিটং ইন্টারভিউ ᱧᱮᱞ ᱞᱮᱫ ᱛᱟᱭᱟ ᱫᱷᱤᱨᱮᱱᱫᱨᱚᱱᱟথ ᱵᱟᱥᱠᱮ ᱜᱚᱝᱠᱮᱭᱟ ᱫᱷᱤᱨᱮᱱᱫᱨᱚᱱᱟথ ᱵᱟᱥᱠᱮ ᱜᱚᱝᱠᱮ ᱩᱱᱤ ᱞᱟᱹᱭᱫᱟᱭ ᱤᱧ ᱫᱚ ᱥᱟহিত্য ᱫᱚ খুব একটা বই চর্চায় ᱤᱧ ᱫᱚ জাস্তি ᱱᱟᱜᱟᱢᱤᱧ চর্চাᱭᱟ ᱟᱫᱚ ᱩᱱᱤ ᱫᱚ ᱱᱚᱜᱼᱚ ᱱᱚᱝᱠᱟᱱ ᱱᱟᱜᱟᱢ ᱨᱮᱱᱟᱜ বই জাস্তি ᱚᱞ ᱠᱟᱫᱟᱭ ᱟᱨ ᱩᱱᱠᱩ ᱱᱟᱜᱟᱢᱤᱭᱟᱹ ᱠᱚ ᱤᱫᱤ ᱠᱟᱛᱮ বই ᱠᱚᱦᱚᱸ জাস্তি ᱚᱞ ᱠᱟᱫᱟᱭ আর আর যাহা পরিমল হেমব্রমার কথা বন লইদা যে পরিমল হেমব্রমা অল রে তাহলে আবো মানে হুল ইদি কাতে তিনাং পতিয় বন দহয়া সে বাবন পতিয় দহয়া বন ইন দিন লেয়া যে হুল রেনা যদি সারি চিতর বন সাব রাখাবা তাহলে খান দড় গবেষণা হয় রিসার্চ হয় মেনখান মিটং অনলিয়া দো কিছু বই পড়াও কাতে বা খবর কাগজ বা হয়ু কারণ উন সময় কিছু দলিল কো পাঁজা জাম কাতে উনি মিটং অল রেনা চেষ্টায় দেয় তো ᱤᱧ ᱫᱩᱧ ᱞᱟᱹᱭᱟ ᱡᱮ ᱱᱚᱣᱟ ᱦᱩᱞ ᱤᱫᱤ ᱠᱟᱛᱮ ᱢᱤᱫᱴᱟᱝ ᱮᱣᱟᱨᱱᱮᱥ ᱮᱢᱟᱵᱚᱱ ᱠᱟᱱᱟᱭ ᱥᱚᱪᱮᱛᱚᱱᱚᱛᱟ ᱮᱢᱟᱵᱚᱱ ᱠᱟᱱᱟᱭ ᱢᱮᱱᱠᱷᱟᱱ উইদাউট রিসার্চ তালাতে তো আবো তো মিদটাং অরিজিনাল জাহানাক বা সারি উত্তর তথ্য সে ঘটনা নমা বাবন ᱧᱟᱢ দাড়ায়া তো ᱤᱧ ᱫᱩᱧ ᱢᱚᱱᱮᱭᱟ গবেষণা প্রয়োজন মেনা এবং নই পরিমল হেমব্রম গংকে নই তো কিন্তু আবো ইন্সপায়ারেড বনায় রস্কে এমাবন কানায় হুল ইদি কাতে আরো বন চর্চায় মা এবং কনসিয়াসনেস তৈয়ার তাবনে হুল ইদি কাতে নগিলে
Thank you for your response, dear Rishara. I'm again coming back to Nishaant. It seems that you have a lot of questions dedicated to you. So here the question is, as you have mentioned, the Murmus are analogous to the Thakurs in Santal community. Will you kindly elaborate if there is any stratification among the Santal community? And if so, how does it affect the development of the Santal community as a whole?
Okay. I mean, this question also can be opened up, I
think. I will. So, I mean, the person specifically asked for your opinion. So,
yeah, I mean, in terms of I mean, there's just like every community, I think, in India, there's different, there's different kind of stratification and different kind of roles between the clans. So, Murmus are priests, Kiskus are Kisku is rulers, Tudus are performers, Hembrom are business people. So there's a kind of association of the different clans with different kinds of work. And, and then, certain groups have certain kinds of marriage relations, avoidance with some clans and others don't. But
prohibited,
yeah. I mean, in terms of, social stratification, like, in terms of like Hindu caste system or something, I mean, not really. I mean, I think there's some rare instances of
I think there's prestige issue there instead of caste system there.
Yeah, probably like that. Yeah. So I don't think that is like a very marked kind of practice, but there is a definite kind of association between the clans and certain kind of occupations. So Murmus are associated with priests, and that's why I raised the issue why the great script makers, the whole, are also priests, and in the songs, the priests were also kind of associated with writing. So I think this is a, there is a kind of, like a ritual element to all of this, to writing and to the insurrection.
Mahadev Babu, jodi katiam lei tabon khan, je Murmu ko adi thenge nyelok kana je adi ko parchao kana ko arki jada kete ona do chida noa ki kono rokom discrimination mena se noa do banua se santar ko somaj talate noa do chet leka gota somaj jodi nyel khan tale noa do chet leka kete tulo do mane nyel huyu arki somaj chet leka kete nyela
abo bon badaya santala binti re je champa disum re okarchon champa te champa disum re tahen okto gelbar goten paris ren hor ko gelbar goten gar tahen kana jelka murmu ka champa gar kisku ko koida gar soren ko chai baher gar mandi ko badoli gar nongka nongka hembrong ka khairi gar eman ar no ono ko gar tahen te miten paris ren hor mimi lekan anggi bhar ko eman ko tahena jela murmu ko to bonga buru yako ar kisku ko ma rapaj hor ar mandi ko do kiseng hor chasbas ko nyala soren ko do sipahi hor disum ko tudu ko do ko enej serenya besra ko nongka loka mita hating tahe kana tinyam tahe no ado hikna binti re katha ado un khon ge bonga buru hete murmu ko do men hoy kana ठाकुर kisku jo rapaj ko ola adi jaga re netar hon soren ko sipahi ko ola ado noy je tudu ko rusika ko oloa ado katha do hina ona binti re mit katha আর নিতো যাহাই ko সমাজ রে আইমা জায়গা রে যাহা ko kami kan tabon ona do jude jinis kana murmu sumung ren horge ko kami kana nongka to chikite bon mela aboren pahil utar onoliye onorhiye aboren jahay sadhu ramchand murmu kono laha aboren jaho ononto paul jujhar soren Paul ga ko mena Paul jujhar soren jahay do bahar delu e chapalen 1936 re to uni to soren hor onka ge gorachand tudu santal porgona kairaboni gc tudu to hul chetar ho bakra puthi benak kada nokka to benak kat ko to he men dare bon sange to murmu hor asol murmu hor do nongka rage ko sangeya disom re jodi bon nyala murmu hor ko do je dumka khon ehok kate moyurbhanj habi je tehin bon nyala asam habi murmu hor ko sangeya আর jahange hoy kan karon do ona dei do adi muskil ona ko katha rapacha re senok do tobe he murmu hora adi gan enem mena akada somaj chetan re no do sari katha ar eta parisara ko kami kada pang katha do unka khato kate udud ban jemon maji ramdas tudu uni ke to agil onoliye jahan ko unu laharen kherwal bongsa dharam puthi ol ledai uni to maji ramdas tudu reska nongka leka menak kada to thik gya ona bishoy do dher bai rod
thank you once again I would like to say that I mean caste discrimination as is not existed in the way that in the Santal community as is there in the Hindu communities but the originally the Santals had believed to be coming from different kinds of guards, the Chai guard, Champa guard, and each guard had been assigned to either the Murmus or the Sorens, different clans basically. So if from during that time they had there was functional classification as people who were mostly spiritual, were the Murmus, people who had been mostly engaged in hunting, were the Sorens, and so forth. So I mean, though Murmus are mostly visible, but they had contributed mostly to the different to different narrations, as in writings or the prestige issue that Nishaant and I were talking about as well, is also present in the Murmus, but it's not as discriminatory in the Santal community as a whole. So well, it's very difficult. According to Hansda, it's very difficult to actually pinpoint as to why Murmus are more in numbers and not the others. But there doesn't exist a very clear-cut explanation as to why it is there. And simply maybe their population is large and we don't have concrete evidence of discrimination of clans. Like Nishaant said as well, there are prohibitions of marriage in some clans, among some clans, but other than that, living peacefully together is their daily practice, day-to-day practice. Well, what are the questions I have? Just let me check. It's flooding. Well, was there any other community that participated in the 1855 Hul? I think many of the speakers have told that it was not necessarily the Hul only by the Santals or for the Santals, but it was different other indigenous communities that has also taken part in the Hul itself, in the rebellion itself. So there's another question. Shidhu and Kanu claimed that God had communicated with them and told them to fight for their independence. Is it true, or what do the Santal community believe? Mahadev Babu, noam katiam lei shodora. Mane Shidhu Kanu je kuhu te ko nyel lena se nuku je bonga tahe kana ko. Bonga ko nyel le ko. Noa do tina sharia.
Noa ko do adi noa ko katha do adi rapacak lekan katha asol katha do inci mena jahan do bastov je hor one bako ako sereng rege bujuk kana je usus bon war bon cili ge bang ko tingun nongkan miten dosa je atu mapaji hinak ko disom re des maji pargana hinak ko enho bako duk dare bon kana ton dindania bhitariya no je ko lei kada je sedai leka beta bete nota sadhinota te nyam ruur lagi to hul ge huyuk tabona hul begar bancar hor banua ado nito huyuk kana bonga katha mel lekhan adi hora mone re putio hijua botor ho mena abo putio hena ado no je no to mitan rajniti ho kana je men keda bonga e men kada bonga mel kan pe joto ge batao huyua rum bonga huyu aro kha kukumu kate ho huyuk bonga huyu men kan jahan nyelok kana je kuku te chet e chala dia jahan Sidhu Kanhu jahan nyide kin nyamre jahan kagoj kin uduk kada ona mato chet kana ona mato nyel kana dhorom puthi dhorom re kagoj ona mato aba adi hor ko menda bible re katha mena ona jahan kagoj koro ado tina sari tina bang nitok to noa to kahni leka tobe ar miten katha men hoy kana bonga dare jabon hul huyuk tabona je raj banuk ko jomidar bon ko mohab janu kana noa disom ta aboa tehi ka abon rajena a ladai huyuga ladai re abdo tayom re da thakur menaya uni goro bona chando bonga ima bona dare ladai re unku tiwe re ma to kaman banduk bena abo do asar ge ken en hoy menta ona to guli bang odokoa ona kaman kon banduk kon guli bang odokoa thakur abo bancha bona abo dare abon no na putio no do abo moto to adi somaj rege sedai tahe kana bonga dare lei likhan bonga hak katha nyum likhan ora putio dheroa ar joto hora he bonga i men kada delabon to dare abon aboto no mita putio mone rea jure aguya no mita rajniti indui mone.
Jogen, would you like to respond to this? Then perhaps I can translate both your views.
I can say something too.
You want to say, Nishaant?
You can let Jogen Babu say, and then
yeah. So, Jogen, can you hear us? Please unmute yourself. Yeah.
Sidhu Kanu tikin kukmu tikin nyel ledea je bonga kin nyel ledea no ᱤᱫᱤ ᱠᱟᱛᱮ ᱤᱧ ᱞᱟᱹᱭᱮᱫ ᱛᱟᱵᱚᱱᱟ ᱥᱟᱱᱛᱟᱲ ᱠᱚᱫᱚ ᱢᱟᱱᱮ ᱟᱹᱰᱤ ᱟᱫᱽᱫᱷᱟᱛᱢᱤᱠ ᱪᱮᱛᱟᱱ ᱯᱟᱹᱛᱭᱟᱹᱣ ᱦᱚᱲ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ ᱠᱚ ᱟᱫᱽᱫᱷᱟᱛᱢᱤᱠᱚᱛᱟ ᱪᱮᱛᱟᱱ ᱯᱟᱹᱛᱭᱟᱹᱣ ᱡᱟᱹᱥᱛᱤ ᱢᱮᱱᱟᱜ ᱛᱟᱠᱚᱣᱟ ᱵᱚᱸᱜᱟ ᱵᱩᱨᱩ ᱡᱟᱹᱥᱛᱤ ᱠᱚ ᱯᱟᱹᱛᱭᱟᱹᱣ ᱟᱠᱚᱣᱟ ᱠᱚ এমনকি ᱱᱚᱣᱟ ᱨᱮᱱᱟᱜ ᱢᱤᱫᱴᱮᱱ ᱩᱫᱟᱦᱚᱨᱚᱱᱤᱧ ᱞᱟᱹᱭᱟ ᱩᱱᱠᱩ ᱡᱟᱦᱟᱸᱭ ᱢᱚᱦᱟᱡᱚᱱ ᱠᱚᱠᱚ ᱛᱟᱦᱮᱱᱟ ᱩᱱᱠᱩ ᱫᱚ ᱵᱚᱦᱚᱜ ᱨᱮ ᱛᱤᱞᱚᱠ ᱠᱚ ᱞᱟᱜᱟᱣ ᱠᱟᱜ ᱛᱟᱦᱮᱸᱫ ᱥᱤᱸᱫᱩᱨ ᱨᱮᱱᱟᱜ ᱛᱤᱞᱚᱠ ᱛᱚ ᱱᱚᱜᱼᱚ ᱱᱚᱣᱟ ᱚᱱᱟ ᱫᱚ ᱠᱤᱱᱛᱩ ᱵᱚᱸᱜᱟ ᱵᱚᱛᱚᱨ ᱠᱚ ᱤᱭᱟᱹ ᱦᱚᱪᱚ ᱛᱟᱦᱮᱸᱫ ᱛᱟᱪᱷᱟᱲᱟ ᱦᱚᱲ ᱨᱮᱱᱟᱜ ᱢᱤᱫᱴᱮᱱ ᱫᱷᱤᱨᱤ ᱟᱹᱜᱩ ᱠᱟᱛᱮ ᱠᱚ ᱥᱤᱸᱫᱩᱨᱟᱜ ᱛᱟᱦᱮᱸ ᱫᱚ ᱱᱚᱜᱼᱚ ᱱᱚᱣᱟ ᱠᱚᱦᱚᱸ ᱠᱤᱱᱛᱩ ᱵᱚᱸᱜᱟ ᱨᱮᱱᱟᱜ ᱵᱚᱛᱚᱨ ᱥᱟᱱᱛᱟᱲ ᱴᱷᱮᱱ ᱠᱚ ᱩᱱᱠᱩ ᱢᱚᱦᱟᱡᱚᱱ ᱠᱚ ᱢᱤᱫᱴᱮᱱ ᱠᱚ ᱵᱚᱛᱚᱨ ᱦᱚᱪᱚ ᱠᱚ ᱛᱟᱦᱮᱸᱫ ᱤᱭᱟᱹ ᱥᱟᱱᱛᱟᱲ ᱠᱚ ᱛᱚ ᱡᱟᱦᱟᱸ ᱠᱟᱱ ᱜᱮ ᱥᱟᱱᱛᱟᱲ ᱠᱚᱫᱚ ᱵᱚᱸᱜᱟ ᱵᱩᱨᱩ ᱪᱮᱛᱟᱱ ᱫᱚᱢᱮ ᱯᱟᱹᱛᱭᱟᱹᱣ ᱢᱮᱱᱟᱜ ᱛᱟᱠᱚᱣᱟ ᱟᱫᱚ ᱱᱚᱜᱼᱚ ᱱᱚᱣᱟ ᱢᱤᱫᱴᱟᱝ ব্যাপারটা ᱦᱩᱭᱩᱜ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ ᱥᱟᱱᱛᱟᱲ ᱴᱷᱮᱱ ᱞᱟᱹᱲᱦᱟᱹᱭ ᱞᱟᱹᱜᱤᱫ ᱢᱟ ᱡᱟᱦᱟᱱ ᱚস্ত্র ᱵᱟᱹᱱᱩᱜ ᱟᱹᱱᱤᱡ ᱟᱸᱜᱼᱥᱟᱨ ᱢᱮᱱᱟᱜᱼᱟ ᱛᱟᱨᱯᱚᱨᱮ ᱦᱩᱭᱩᱜ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ ᱦᱟᱯᱟ ᱢᱮᱱᱟᱜᱼᱟ ᱵᱟᱹᱴᱩᱲ ᱢᱮᱱᱟᱜᱼᱟ ᱱᱚᱣᱟ ᱠᱚᱛᱮ ᱛᱚ ᱵᱟᱸᱫᱷᱩᱠ ᱠᱟᱢᱟᱱ ᱥᱟᱞᱟᱜ ᱛᱚ ᱵᱟᱹᱧ ᱞᱟᱹᱲᱦᱟᱹᱭ ᱫᱟᱲᱮᱭᱟᱜᱼᱟ তাহলে লড়াই মানে কিন্তু জিবি এম হইউआ কিন্তু সান্তার দো নোনা বঙ্গা বুরু চিতাম দমে পতিও তাহে কান তাকোয়া অনা খাতির তেগে লেদা তাহলে আবো তো আন্দোলন থেকে হয়ে তাবনা যদি বাবন আন্দোলন তাহলে নঙ্কা তিনন দিন অত্যাচার বন সাহাওয়া অনা খাতির থেকে নুকিন দো কিন চিন্তা ভাবনা লে তাহে দো সিধু কানু বা সিধু কানু তেকো ko চিন্তা ভাবনা লে তাহে যে নগো নঙ্কার মিটং আবো কথা বন লইয়া যাহাতে জাতি মিটং দাড়ে বন ñam লড়াই রেনা মানে হর উদ্গব কো লাগি গে হর ইন্সপায়ার কো লাগি গে নয়া কথা তো কি লই লেদা মনতে ইনি মনে দা নয়া গে
Acha. Thank you both of you very much. So, the opinion that they placed is basically Santali people are very, committed and are believers. So, during Shidhu Kanu's time as well, so people had a lot of faith in the spirit and the different bongas that they had believed in, the Bhage Bonga, the Badi Bonga, the good God, good spirit and the bad spirit as well. And they perceive it to have a lot of power in them. So perhaps Shidhu and Kanu had taken inspiration and had used that inspiration to inspire others to the importance of the rebellion. And even if they didn't have cannons or guns to fight with, they had gone into war. They had rebelled against the very fatal stances where they didn't actually believe that it was important for the people to believe that they can bring some changes. So it is not a question if the gods were present or not, or it is not the question if Shidhu and Kanu had actually heard the god, but it's the inspiration that they had believed in revolution, and the revolution can bring in changes even if it meant sacrificing their life, was very important to the community at that time. Basically, Santali people were very, honest, as different very historical narratives say, and they were shy and not really ready for any kind of revolution. But there was a time where it was of utmost importance that revolution is done, people revolted, and the inspiration was in terms of gods or spirits. So thank you for your wonderful insight into it. So I have a script question here. So Nishaant, this is for you. Since scripting began much later, can the tradition of orality be seen as an act of opposition? This is from Lovely Mujumdar.
So I think actually the act of the act of orality, seeing the act of orality as opposition is also creating this orality literacy divide, which I think now we're trying to go past a little bit. I don't think that, I don't think that Santal culture was just an oral culture. you know, orality has played a big role in the culture. It still does. Songs, everything, you know, oral bintis, stories, sereng, everything like this. But it's also, it was a written culture, I would say, because what was called all, meaning Santals were writing things. In Kanu wrote, you know, before that people wrote, there was the word all writing there before, you know, for different kinds of things. It wasn't script in the same way that we see script now, but there was something like this. So I don't think necessarily this Santal culture was just a oral culture. It was also, you know, we have to really challenge this ideas of literacy that we get, that literacy just comes with script. I think later on, you know, when the Santal people started making their own scripts, in, you know, Raghunath Murmu was one of them, but many people made their own scripts also. I've mentioned Ramchand Murmu as well. There were other scripts that were made. But scripts, you know, they, you know, and Ramchand Murmu also saw this, that script was not something that was a new thing, right? Scripts weren't invented, they were discovered, they were given by the Bongas. They were inspired, they were seen. So it was a continuity. So I don't think orality is necessarily resistance. I think orality also kind of brings the Adivasis back into this idea that they were like, they're mostly oral and now, and you know, they still haven't become literate and these kind of things. So I would challenge that idea.
Wow, thank you very much. This question is not dedicated to one particular question, so I'll keep this open for all the panelists to respond. This is from Sripati Tudu. How was the Santal Hul represented in contemporary newspapers? Awa khobor sandesh re chileka Santal Hul bonyel nyel tah nyelok tahe se netar ho nyeloa. Kati macam tu jadi ben lekhan. Mahadev babu liam?
अच्छा इन एना रेगे नसेने इ लई केदा जे हुल रे कथा बड़ा हिउ खान दो ओना ऑक्टर रे खबर कागज को बांखान तो आरे जहां पुथी को ऑल अकान बाखान तो डिस्ट्रिक्ट गैजेटियर्स को एमान को रेखन बड़ा हिउ तबना तो संताली ते नितो जहां ऑलोक खाना हुल चेतान रे सेरेñ मेना गायन मेना गामाम से नोवेल मेना कदा आर ओनल मा एसेमा तो हुयुक कान गे कहानी हो हुयुक खाना संताल हुल चेतान रे कहानी मेना कदा संताल ते गामाम मेना कदा संताल हुल चेतान रे गायन मेना कदा संताल हुल रे जतल कान ऑल नितो सिनेमा को हुयुक खाना आदो सामहे रे जहां तिन हाटी जतो ठेन गे बोलो काना नितो हुल मिटन मिटन सामहे तिंगु काना और नितो हो जहां को रेंगे रबांग अनाट को मेना का ओरा चेतान रो आयमा ओलोक खाना ओना हो हुल सामहे लेका ते ओना को लेखा दाड़ेया तो नोमा जीवन गे हुकना लड़ाई और सामहे जुदी जीवन रे उमुर कान जे समाज रे चित्र चारसी कान ताले ओना तो हिजुक गया नित मेना कदा अडी मारंते मेना रहो ओलोक खाना खबर कागज रहो ओलोक खाना तजबीज हुक खाना एनांग जहां को अडी भूल को ऑल कदा ओने लैके को दो नोआ हुलगरिए को मेन खात को दसु तस्को असभ्य जंगली तीन किछु मेन तेहिं तो ओना दिन बदलेन तेहिं दो उनको दो कहे कना नित दो हुई कना दिसो प्रेमिक नित दो को हुई कना शहीद नित दो नोआ मेते बन लेखाय को तो नोआ तो ऑलबिल तला तके नोआ जे ओड़ा मने बन बदलेदा से सारिया बन पांजा ओडोकेदा नोआ तो भागी जिनिस.
Yeah, Jogen, would you like to respond to this?
उन समय दो ब्रिटिश राजत्व चला लेना आदो उन समय दो नोडे इया जहां पुथि पाथम रे पढ़ा कते जाय बुझो जामेया जे बार लेकना मोटामोटी ये न्याम कदार की खबर कागज को मेटे दो कना इंग्रेजीते और बांग्लाते आदो नो जे इंग्रेजीते और बांग्लाते जहां को खबर कागज को उछेनो कान था दो नो तो किछु तो कना ब्रिटिश पंथी माने ब्रिटिश द्वारा नियंत्रित आरकी न नंका आरकी তাহলে যাহাই ব্রিটিশ দ্বারা নিয়ন্ত্রিত যাহা পত্রিকা को তাহা एक्चुअली ওনা দো ওকা কো কানা एक्चुअली ওনা দো বইলে দাঁড়া কানা কিন্তু যাহা টুকু ᱧᱟᱢ তো উনকু দো কিন্তু হুল ইদি কাতে দো বাড়ি কো সদর কাদা কো ᱞᱟᱹᱭ ᱫᱟᱠᱚ ᱦᱮᱸ ᱱᱚᱣᱟ ᱫᱚ ᱥᱟᱱᱛᱟᱲ ᱠᱚᱫᱚ ᱱᱚᱣᱟ ᱦᱩᱞ ᱠᱟᱛᱮ ᱦᱩᱞᱤᱜᱼᱟ ᱠᱚ ᱛᱟᱯᱟᱢ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ ᱠᱚ ᱞᱟᱹᱲᱦᱟᱹᱭ ᱫᱟᱠᱚ ᱩᱱᱠᱩ ᱫᱚ ᱠᱨᱤᱢᱤᱱᱟᱞ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ ᱠᱚ ᱠᱤᱪᱷᱩ ᱠᱤᱪᱷᱩ ᱵᱟᱝᱞᱟ ᱯᱚᱛᱨᱤᱠᱟ ᱦᱚᱸ ᱥᱟᱱᱛᱟᱲ ᱠᱚ ᱞᱟᱹᱭ ᱠᱚ ᱩᱱᱠᱩ ᱫᱚ ᱡᱚᱝᱞᱤ ᱨᱤᱱ ᱦᱚᱲ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ ᱠᱚ ᱥᱟᱱᱛᱟᱲ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ ᱠᱚ ᱩᱱᱠᱩ ᱠᱚ ᱵᱤᱫᱽᱫᱨᱳᱦᱤᱭᱮᱫᱟ ᱱᱚᱜᱼᱚ ᱱᱚᱝᱠᱟ ᱠᱚ ᱫᱩᱨᱱᱟᱢ ᱟᱠᱟᱫ ᱠᱚᱣᱟ ᱡᱟᱦᱟᱸᱭ ᱠᱚ ᱵᱷᱟᱜᱤ ᱢᱤᱫᱵᱟᱨ ᱵᱷᱟᱜᱤ ᱯᱚᱛᱨᱤᱠᱟ ᱛᱟᱦᱮᱸ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ उनको दो को लेदा जे नवा दो मिटंग ये कना माने नवा दो मिटंग प्रथम देशप्रेमिक विद्रोह कना मेनते को लेदा जहां को भागी कना को आरकी माने जहां दो ब्रिटिश द्वारा नियंत्रित जहां पत्रिका को बांग थाए कना ओना रिंदे को लेदा जे नवा देशप्रेमिक मिटंग विद्रोह कना एवं सांतार विद्रोह को सरहाय दा को हां तो ओनकना कंट्रीब्यूशन मेना न्यूज़पेपर रिना तो बे ओना दो नेला जहां जदि बन कामिया गवेषणा बन ताले मिटंग चेद बोले दृष्टिभंगी ठीक दरकार आरकी माने ओकोय पत्रिका ओका लेखा जायगा रे चेद ए लई किदा एनो ओना बिचार ना मिटंग क्षमता तैयार लेखान तबे ना बन इये दाड़े
Thank you very much, both of you. I would like to add on to this that winds of change has always been the wind of representation. As we have seen, as many other participants have also seen in the London Illustrated News and several other newspapers that were there during the 1855-56 at that time, in English newspapers as well as Bengali newspapers, we had always seen the Santals to be represented as someone who is adversely affecting the peace of the nation. So the notion of the nation has also changed over the years, and during the British Raj, during the colonial rule, it was definitely very different, and how the Santals were represented by the British has been reflected in the newspapers, and in a way where in a very negative light, but since after independence, as Hansda ji has told us, that now they are like celebrated heroic people who are now celebrated as freedom fighters. So the stand is very important. From which perspective are we looking at? So the uncivilized uncultured dogs have now become freedom fighters is something that is very noteworthy. And as Jogendranath has also added, still there are instances where such biased representations are present, and I think that was about it. I have a very interesting question here. Let me have a look. This is about Damini Ko, but I seem to have lost it. Let me check. Okay, is there any authentic documentation on the migration of Santals to the Damini Ko as well as after the rebellion of 1856? So noje Santar ko adi chagin ko chalao lena Damini Ko khon se Assam khon noar na ki kono puthi mina badai hochole khanari na pai huwa. Mahadev Babu, I think you will be the you can be quite helpful in this, I guess. Ledin je Damini Ko kon Assam te ko je chalao hoile na noare na kono reference judi mem dare khan.
abo do sen ohi aima sedaya ona pahil sena jahan ko puthi olkan jelka chotrai desmajiya katha chotrai desmajiya katha uni chotrai desmaji do hul rehon sel len tahena ar uni ho hul tainom do Assam te sen lena Assam cha bagan ordena kuli ko meta kwa cha bagan re kamia ode ho uni do ko desmaji ledeya to ona records mena hor kore mare hapram kore katha ho mena Ar kichu katha mena je mitten kon ar mitten bon chenen je jokhon berhai te jokhon je damin disom damin do Forasi shobdo damin ই ko মানে তো মেন গানোয়া পাহাড়ি ওড়না বাংলাতে কো না তো যে বুরু আঞ্চার আটাল আটাল বুরু তো যে দামিন ইকো যাহা তেয়ারেনা 1833 রে ওনা দো হুᱭᱩᱜᱼᱟ আডি মারাং মিটেন এলাকা ওনা ভিতরে রে তাহে কানা যে 500 বর্গ মাইল এলাকা গে তাহে কানা বীরবুরু তো নয় নোয়া দিশম যখন কো লো তরজ কেদা কো আবরেন ইয়ে কো ফদ কো সেনা বাহিনী কো উনখান জিবি জ্বালা মানে হুল তাইনম হড় আনতেন তো কো সেনা ওনা দো ইন তো সেরেইতে বাড়াইওয়া আর ইদো উনখান পুথন পুথি কো মেনা গিয়া ওনা কো ঘন্টা লেখান গে বাড়াইওয়া আর নিতো যাহাই করে আসাম করে মেনা কাট কো উনকু হকো লইয়া কই দো মেনা আলে দো দুমকরেন কানালে কই কোনা আলে দো শিক্ষার দিশম রেন কই কো মেনা আলে দো মান দিশম লে তাহে কানা নকা মিটেন কোন আর মিটেন কো সেন কান তাবনা ওনা ᱧᱟᱢᱚᱜᱼᱟ পুথি মেনা সেরাই হো উথন মেনা
Hello. This is Shantanu from the organizing committee. I believe there is some problem with Rahi's video and audio. I can already see the moderator for tomorrow's session, Professor Nilanjana Dev. I will request her if she can try and proceed with the discussion. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Shantanu. While we're waiting for Professor Rahi Soren to reconnect, a question that has come up twice, in fact, from two participants is what was the role of women in the Santal Hul? So this is an open question. If any of the speakers could respond, or all of the speakers, that would be wonderful. What was the role of women in the Santal Hul? মহিলাদের
তিরলা কোয়া কথা চেক বন বাড়ায়া হুলে
মহিলাদের কি ভূমিকা ছিল যদি একটু এর উপর আলোকপাত করেন
মহাদেব বাবু
হুল রে এনার্কি লই কেদা আইমা কুড়ি হপন কো সেলেক্ট লেন তাহেনা उनको का ᱧᱩᱛᱩᱢ ᱫᱚ রেকর্ডস রে নিত হাবি উনকা বাং ᱧᱟᱢ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ ᱮᱱᱦᱚᱸ ᱠᱟᱛᱷᱟ ᱨᱮ ᱡᱮᱢᱚᱱ ᱢᱮᱱᱟᱜ ᱠᱟᱫᱟ ᱡᱮ ᱱᱤᱛᱚᱜ ᱯᱷᱩᱞᱳ ᱡᱷᱟᱱᱚᱣᱟᱜ ᱠᱟᱛᱷᱟ ᱟᱸᱡᱚᱢᱚᱜ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ ᱥᱤᱫᱩ ᱠᱟᱱᱦᱩ ᱪᱟᱸᱫ ᱵᱷᱟᱭᱨᱚ ᱛᱟᱠᱚ ᱨᱮᱱ ᱜᱮ ᱵᱟᱝᱢᱟ ᱩᱱᱠᱤᱱ ᱵᱟᱨᱭᱟ ᱢᱤᱥᱨᱟ ᱠᱤᱱ ᱛᱟᱦᱮᱸ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ ᱯᱷᱩᱞᱳ ᱟᱨ ঝানো ᱚᱠᱚᱭ ᱫᱚ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ ᱯᱷᱩᱞᱢᱚᱱᱤ ᱚᱠᱚᱭ ᱫᱚ ᱢᱟᱱᱠᱩ ᱡᱟᱦᱟᱱᱟᱜ ᱜᱮ ᱱᱚᱝᱠᱟ ᱛᱟᱦᱮᱸ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ ᱠᱚ ᱚᱠᱟ ᱯᱩᱛᱷᱤ ᱨᱮᱫᱚ ᱨᱩᱠᱱᱤ ᱴᱩᱠᱱᱤ ᱟᱵᱚ ᱡᱮ ᱛᱤᱨᱤ ᱥᱤᱯᱟᱹᱦᱤ ᱚᱞᱠᱟᱫ ᱯᱚᱨᱤᱢᱚᱞ ᱦᱮᱢᱵᱨᱚᱢ ᱚᱸᱰᱮ ᱫᱚ ᱨᱩᱠᱱᱤ ᱴᱩᱠᱱᱤ আরো যাহার কানা মরে যারা মরে না ওরে আনন্দময় বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায় দো ওরে দো ছিবিলিয়া কথায় লই কথা ওরে দো ঝুমকিয়া কথায় লই কথা নো কদ নোয়ান কো nyutuman ko tahe kana oka then to nyalok kana তারাশঙ্কর বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায় পুথি রেহ ওডে আর মি লেখা nyutum এমন কথা মেনকা না তো না নোভেল কানা সারি nyutum kana se bang kana তবে এমনকা আদি সঙ্গে ko tahe kana আর মিটেন ওনা যখন রে মিটা কাগজ খবর কাগজ রে nyalok kana কুড়ি হপন কো রেকর্ডস তো ᱧᱟᱢ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ ᱡᱮ ᱢᱤᱫᱴᱮᱱ কুড়ি হপন সাদম মি হড় সাদম রে দেখ কাতে লড়াইয়ে তাহেন আদᱚᱭ গoj ᱟᱠᱟᱱᱟ সেন কাতে কো ᱧᱮᱞᱮᱫᱟ ᱡᱮ অশ্বারোহী মহিলা পুরুষ নহে হচ্ছে মহিলা আদᱚ ওনা যখন সংবাদ প্রভাকরণ ওনা কাগজ করে নৌকা ᱧᱮᱞᱚᱜ ᱠᱟᱱᱟ ᱡᱮ কুড়ি হপন হ কড়া হপন লেকা সাজ কাতে কো লড়াই কাদা কয় ᱫᱚ ওনা যখন সাদম আড়ি কো তাহে কানা ঘোড়া ভাইরো মুলিন ওনা সেরেñ কো মেনা সাদম রে চেতান রে দেখ কাতে को लड़ाई कदा ओनार कुड़ी हपन हो आदो हुई दाड़ेया आर ओनका लका रेकॉर्ड्स पांजा लेखान दो उनको nyutum को ᱧᱟᱢ दाड़ेया मेनखान तीन तो दो जहना ऑल बिल हपन दो को ताहे काना आडी सान
thank you to address this question again Basically, there were many women who had been in, who had entered the rebellion dressed up as men. So there is not very concrete evidence, and now many researchers are looking into it, and hopefully we will be able to unearth more. To the panelists, thank you very much, and to the participants, it was wonderful. On this note, I will also like to add that tomorrow we will talk extensively as well, as one of the panelists will be talking about the role of women in the whole, and what are the documents that we have as of now, and what we might find and is yet to be unearthed. So thank you for all the speakers for being here, uh, having wonderful presentations, and the many questions. I'm sorry that we won't be able to take any other questions as of now. And please join us tomorrow again, same time, uh, 6 p.m. And it would really be good if we can have the panelists today as well, and log in by 5:45, so as to avoid connectivity issues. Thank you so much again. Shanam koge johar. Hul shandes tahena joto hattenge.
Johar.
Johar.
Adi bhagi. Johar.